Long thought to be a mere legend, the Holy Grail has potentially turned into reality. Scientists claim to have found this elusive relic hidden in a cave sealed for thousands of years in a recent stunning discovery. The Grail is a symbol woven deeply into Christian and Arthurian lore. Historically, it's believed to date back to the time of Jesus. This breakthrough challenges our understanding of history and faith. How did this ancient artifact end up in a remote cave? What secrets does it hold about our past? Join us as we discuss the intriguing tale of the Holy Grail's journey through time. Historical background. The Holy Grail has been a symbol of intrigue for centuries. Believed to be the cup used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper, its significance extends beyond mere material value. This chalice, central to Christian and Arthurian legends, is said to have existed around 30 AD, playing a pivotal role in one of the most crucial moments in the Christian narrative. But the Grail's tale is not just limited to religious texts. Over the centuries, it has found its way to folklore and legend, transforming from a humble vessel to a symbol of divine quest and enlightenment. Its allure has persisted through the ages, inspiring knights, poets, and adventurers. The legend of the Grail reflects humanity's deep-seated fascination with the divine and the eternal quest for spiritual fulfillment. Historical accounts suggest that throughout the Middle Ages, the search for this sacred relic was an endeavor driving crusaders and explorers to venture far and wide. The Grail was believed to possess miraculous powers, offering healing and eternal life to those who found it. This belief fueled countless quests, each adding to the Grail's mystique and embedding it further into European society's cultural and historical consciousness. In the modern era, the Holy Grail continues to captivate us. Its latest purported discovery in a sealed cave has rekindled interest in its origins and significance. This find, if authenticated, could rewrite chapters of history and offer new insights into the intersection of faith, legend, and history. The Holy Grail in myth and legend. The Holy Grail's journey from a revered Christian relic to a symbol in Arthurian legend represents a fascinating evolution in its historical narrative. The transformation began in the early 12th century, when writers like Chrétien de Troyes introduced the Grail into Arthurian romances, intertwining it with the quests of King Arthur and his knights. Before this, the Grail was primarily seen as a religious symbol. These stories elevated it to an object of mystical pursuit, integral to the legend of King Arthur. In these tales, the Grail was no longer just a cup from the Last Supper. It became a symbol of divine grace and enlightenment. The most famous story is that of Sir Galahad, the purest and bravest of Arthur's knights, who undertook a perilous journey to find the Grail. His quest, filled with challenges and moral tests, symbolized the pursuit of spiritual purity. The narrative of Galahad's quest reflected the medieval Christian values of chivalry, faith, and virtue. The incorporation of the Holy Grail into Arthurian legend marked a significant shift in its perception. No longer was it seen solely as a historical artifact. It became a central element in stories widely read and revered across medieval Europe. These stories resonated deeply with the medieval audience, reflecting their spiritual aspirations and the societal ideals of the time. The portrayal of the Grail in these legends also impacted the art and culture of the era. It inspired countless works of art, literature, and even music, each interpretation adding layers to the Grail's mythos. This blending of historical artifact and legend has resulted in rich narratives surrounding the Holy Grail. It is a unique example of how an object can transcend its original context to become a deeply ingrained symbol in a culture's collective imagination. The Holy Grail in history and religion. The Holy Grail is far more than a mere artifact. It holds a profound place in Christian history and religious practice. Its roots are embedded in the Last Supper 30 AD, where Jesus Christ used it to establish the communion ritual. This ritual symbolized the sharing of Jesus' body and blood. It became a cornerstone of the Christian faith, observed worldwide in churches during the Eucharist. Over centuries, the Grail's significance evolved, transcending its physical form. It symbolized the essence of the Christian sacraments and the embodiment of divine grace. The Grail's connection to the Last Supper and, by extension, to Jesus gave it a sanctity that resonated deeply with the Christian faithful. As a result, it became one of the most revered relics in Christian history. In medieval Europe, veneration of relics like the Holy Grail was widespread. Churches and cathedrals across the continent claimed to possess relics that drew pilgrims. Believed to have holy power, these relics played a significant role in the spiritual lives of the people. The Holy Grail occupied a special place due to its direct link to Jesus. The Grail became a symbol of divine favor and spiritual quest, profoundly influencing Christian art and literature. Its portrayal varied, from a simple cup to a symbol of Christ's sacrifice, reflecting the diverse interpretations and beliefs surrounding it. Through the centuries, the Holy Grail remained an object of allure and reverence. Blending historical significance with spiritual symbolism, its story captures the essence of the human pursuit of the divine. The Holy Grail's journey through history illustrates how an artifact can become a powerful symbol of faith and devotion, shaping religious practices and cultural narratives. The Crusades and the quest for the Holy Grail. The Crusades, spanning from the 11th to the 13th centuries, marked a significant chapter in the history of the Holy Grail. Initiated for control over the Holy Land, these religious wars ignited a search for sacred relics, with the Holy Grail at the forefront. Driven by faith and the allure of the Grail's supposed divine power, the Crusaders believed possessing it would lead to victory and divine favor. During the First Crusade in 1096, the desire to reclaim the Holy Land was intertwined with the quest for sacred relics. Upon capturing Jerusalem in 1099, the Crusaders scoured the city and surrounding areas for these artifacts. The Holy Grail became a popular prize. Its search was a religious mission and a quest for a powerful symbol of divine legitimacy and authority. The Knights Templar, a formidable order of Crusader knights, were particularly associated with the search for the Grail. Founded in the early 12th century, their mission extended beyond military duties to include the protection of pilgrims and safeguarding sacred relics. Legends and folklore often place the Templars at the center of Grail lore, suggesting they might have found and secretly guarded the Grail. The Holy Grail's whereabouts remained elusive despite numerous expeditions and searches throughout the Crusades. Its significance, however, only grew, fueling further legends and tales. The failure to locate the Grail added to its mystique, transforming it into a symbol of the unattainable. This ultimate quest tests faith and endurance. The Crusades' impact on the Holy Grail's legend is undeniable. They reinforced the Grail's significance in Christian lore and helped weave it into the fabric of medieval European culture. The Holy Grail in modern culture. In modern culture, the Holy Grail has transcended its religious origins to become a symbol of quest and mystery in literature, film, and art. This transformation began in earnest with the advent of the Romantic movement in the 19th century. Writers and artists, fascinated by the mystery and symbolism of the Grail, incorporated it into their works, making it a popular and enduring symbol. One of the most notable examples of this cultural shift is Richard Wagner's opera Parsifal, which was composed in 1882. Wagner's interpretation of its legend played a significant role in popularizing the Grail myth in modern times. Similarly, T.S. Eliot's poem The Waste Land, published in 1922, used Grail imagery to convey themes of spiritual desolation and redemption, reflecting the post-World War I cultural landscape. In the 20th century, the Grail continued to capture the public imagination. It featured prominently in popular fiction, such as Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, which sparked a renewed interest in Grail lore by linking it to conspiracy theories and alternative histories. This novel blurred the lines between historical fact and fiction, fueling curiosity and debate about the Grail's true nature. It has been a recurring motif in cinema, most famously in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 1989. Combining adventure with historical fantasy, this film portrayed the Grail as the ultimate prize, sought after for its supposed supernatural powers. The movie's success further cemented the Grail's status in popular culture as a symbol of adventure and the unknown. Controversies and alternative theories. The controversy surrounding the Holy Grail, particularly the Sangreal hypothesis, presents a captivating blend of history, mystery, and speculation. This hypothesis, gaining traction in the late 20th century, suggests an alternative interpretation of the Grail's story. It posits that Sangreal, traditionally understood as Sangreal or Holy Grail, could also be read as Sangreal, meaning royal blood. This theory diverges significantly from the conventional narrative of the Grail as a physical cup. According to proponents of the Sangreal hypothesis, the term could hint at a secret lineage descending from Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. This controversial idea challenges the long-held belief in both Christian and Muslim traditions that Jesus remained celibate throughout his life. The hypothesis suggests this lineage could be connected to the Merovingian dynasty, a Frankish royal line ruling from the 5th to 8th centuries. While intriguing, these claims are not supported by concrete historical evidence and remain debated among scholars. The Sangreal theory gained widespread attention with the publication of Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code, in 2003. Brown's fictional narrative, weaving together the Sangreal hypothesis with a modern-day thriller, brought the theory into the public eye, sparking both interest and controversy. While the novel is a work of fiction, its portrayal of the Grail as a symbol of a hidden lineage rather than a physical cup has influenced popular perceptions of the Grail legend. The Sangreal hypothesis represents the intersection of legend, faith, and speculative history. It illustrates the enduring fascination with the Holy Grail and the human tendency to seek deeper meanings and connections in historical and religious narratives. Whether viewed as a physical artifact, a symbol of divine grace, or a metaphor for hidden truths, the Holy Grail continues to captivate the imagination. Recent discovery and its implications. The recent discovery of what is believed to be the Holy Grail marks a pivotal moment in the history of this legendary artifact. In 2024, scientists announced they had found a cup in a long-sealed cave dated to the time of Jesus Christ. This discovery, if authenticated, could reshape our understanding of religious history. The artifact, a simple yet elegantly crafted cup, was found amidst ancient artifacts in a cave in Spain. The cave, sealed for thousands of years, preserved the cup in near-pristine condition. This discovery was made possible through advanced archaeological techniques and painstaking historical research. The cup's design and materials correspond with historical accounts of the Holy Grail, adding credibility to the claim. The potential significance of this find extends beyond its historical value. The Holy Grail has been a symbol of divine grace and the quest for spiritual enlightenment in Christian tradition for centuries. Its discovery could provide insights into early Christian practices and the historical Jesus. Furthermore, it could validate centuries-old legends and beliefs, bridging the gap between myth and reality. However, The announcement has also sparked debate among historians, theologians, and archaeologists. While some hail it as one of the most significant finds in religious archaeology, skeptics call for cautious analysis. Questions about the cup's origin, its journey through history, and its connection to Jesus Christ are central to ongoing research and discussion. The discovery of this cup is more than just an archaeological triumph. It's a discovery that touches on the core of religious belief and historical intrigue. This find has reignited interest in the historical search for religious artifacts and the stories behind them. From a biblical artifact to a legendary icon, the Holy Grail's journey captures more than just religious and mythological narratives. It symbolizes our perpetual search for meaning. Its recent discovery rekindles historical and spiritual intrigue, challenging us to reconsider our perspectives on faith, history, and legend. As we delve into this enigmatic tale, it prompts a broader reflection. How do we distinguish between myth and reality, and where do we find the true value in our historical and spiritual explorations?